Okay, so we're ruled over by a bunch of childish individuals, people who probably peaked at high school. We're ruled over by people who are emotionally immature. We got people who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. Now, I get it that people are afraid of a Trump presidency. I understand it. I get it. It's perfectly understandable why people are afraid of a second Trump term. A lot of liberals are projecting that Donald Trump is Hitler 2.0. Well, he's not. Okay. He's just like any other neoliberal politician. These politicians only care about enriching themselves. They only care about expanding their political future. Hell, why not do both? But apparently, AOC and Rachel Maddow think that Trump's going to put them behind bars, that they're going to go to jail. These are not serious people. Here, if you don't believe me, let's pull up this video here of AOC herself. AOC herself projecting her fears that she's going to go to jail if Trump gets elected.
What happens to you if Donald Trump wins? What do you do? What's your first move?
I mean, it sounds nuts, but like I wouldn't be surprised if this guy threw me in jail.
Really?
Why would he? Well, hey, wait a minute. Hold on, AOC. Maybe you're projecting something because it seems like the Democrats are in such a super fast rush to put Donald Trump behind bars. It's almost as though you're afraid of getting karma put upon you. But Democrats, you open up that Pandora's box by constantly going after Trump. So everything that the Democrats are doing to Donald Trump, well, hey, Donald Trump and the Republicans can do to the Democrats. It's like a back and forth. Here, let's listen. I got one more time.
I mean, it sounds nuts, but like I wouldn't be surprised if this guy threw me in jail.
Really?
He's out of his mind. Mm-hmm. I mean, he did his whole first campaign around lock her up. Like, this is his motto.
Oh, he didn't say that, He said he didn't say that. Teasing.
Yeah, right?
That, yeah.
I take him at his word. I take him at his word. I take him at his word when he says that he's going to round up people. I take him at his word when he threatens journalists. I take him at his word. I feel like what we saw in his first presidency was an amuse-bouche to what his intentions are. He has learned from his mistakes of appointing professionals, and he will not make that mistake.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. So sort of like what the Democrats are doing to Trump. Great. So AOC is projecting her fears and trying to cause a whole bunch of panic. We got to be afraid of Donald Trump. We have to be afraid of Donald Trump because Donald Trump is going to put everyone behind bars. But hey, wait a minute. Stop everything. Stop the presses. Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow is worried Trump will send her to the camps if he's elected president. You're going to the camps. Everybody shut up and follow the orders. Rachel Maddow, AOC, you go to the camps. So Rachel Maddow said she's worried that Donald Trump's return to the presidency could mean she may wind up in camps intended to house illegal immigrants. Well, gee, Rachel, it'd be interesting if you actually showed that solidarity to other journalists and whistleblowers that were arrested under the presidency of Barack Obama, and yes, even under Donald Trump, and even under Joe Biden. But all of a sudden, because you're a high-profile person, and because you made your bread and butter covering Russiagate and everything about Donald Trump from 2016 to 2020, and hell, even through now you're worried that he's going to send you to the camps. You're not that important. You're not that special. You're going to go to Rachel. Listen. Real life is not what you see in Hollywood, okay? This isn't The Handmaid's Tale, all right? This isn't some other woke piece of garbage that you see from Hollywood, okay? Don't make it about yourself, because when you project these fears, you cause emotionally immature people here in the United States to then think, oh no, Donald Trump's going to round us all up into camps. So the BSDNC primetime host told CNN on Monday that she was worried about the country broadly if we put someone in power who is openly avowing that he plans to build camps to hold millions of people and to root out what he's described as subhuman terms as his enemies from within. Sort of like what Democrats do, right? Okay, anyways, Maddow added, for that matter, what convinces you that these massive camps he's planning are only for migrants? So, yes, I'm worried about me, but only as much as I'm worried about all of us. So you're worried about yourself first. You can give a damn about people. Hey, wait, folks, hold on. to be fair here, because maybe I'm wrong. Here, okay? I'm willing to accept that I might be making a mistake. Do you think Rachel Maddow and AOC are concerned about us because Donald Trump might put us all in camps? Type 1 for yes, Kit. Rachel Maddow is a mature, serious news person, unlike you, and AOC is a strong politician, and they're worried, and they're going to fight for us, unlike you. Hashtag unsubscribe. Or type 2, man, they don't give a damn about us. They're projecting their fears and are causing people to panic to vote for Biden. It's all one big game, smoke and mirrors. I wonder how many 2s will get in the chat. I wonder. Kit, you awful, awful man. Continuing on. Recent public opinion polls show Trump edging out incumbent President Joe Biden in several key swing states, fueling trepidation among Democrats and their supporters that the GOP presumptive nominee will unleash a campaign of retribution against his political enemies. Well, of course. Hey, the quote, Fat Tony, of course, right? I mean, you guys kept on throwing everything at Donald Trump. If you don't think he's going to come at you, if you don't think that he's going to do that, but he's not going to be throwing you into camps, he's just going to be embarrassing you guys on social media like how he always does. All of you kicked open that door and allowed Trump to become relevant. But hell, Rachel Maddow, I really doubt you're ever going to confront Hill Dog herself, Hillary Rodham Clinton or Bill Clinton, for actually encouraging Trump to run in 2016. Because after all, they gave him that boost of confidence. Like, yeah, sure, go on in, buddy. The reason why Trump is where he's at is because of the Democratic leadership, because they thought he'd be an easy person to beat. In any event, check this out. The article covers Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez recently told podcaster Kara Swisher that she wouldn't be surprised if this guy, Trump, threw me in jail. You going to put on your invisible handcuffs, AOC? She probably might. Maddow on Monday predicted that Trump would deploy the military to round up undocumented migrants. When Trump invokes the Insurrection Act to deploy the U.S. military against civilians on his first day in office, do you think he then rescinds the order on day 2, Maddow asked? Because we want everyone to be afraid, right? Maddow was alluding to Trump's plan to institute a massive crackdown on illegal immigration, which would reportedly entail wholesale roundups of undocumented people and the construction of detention camps. When asked by Time magazine last month whether he would build migrant detention camps, the former president said he would not rule out anything, though he added there wouldn't be that much of a need for them since we're going to be moving them out. Okay, well, Democrats, just remember, the reason why we have a border crisis is because of, again, neoliberal policies. So there you go. In the Time interview, Trump, who had also indicated by the Justice Department, as well as Democratic district attorneys, indicted by the Justice Department, as well as Democratic district attorneys in Georgia and New York, said that President Joe Biden would be prosecuted for 20 different acts. And to be clear here, even Joe Biden has committed crimes, but you don't hear a lot of the vote blue, no matter who people talking about that. Trump said that if the Supreme Court rules that a president doesn't get immunity, then Biden will be prosecuted for all his crimes because he's committed many crimes. Maddow was asked by CNN whether she was worried that you could be a target, given the fact that she is one of Trump's most notable critics on television, again, making it about herself. She responded that there's a little bit of head in the sand complacency that Trump intends to go after individual people he has already singled out. Maddow also warned those that side with Trump could also end up persecuted. It also seems pretty clear that some people in politics might think that they're on the be on the safe inside, that they might even benefit from it if they side with Trump, she said. Ask Mike Pence how that works out in the end. Pence's relationship with Trump ruptured after the then vice president refused to interfere with the congressional certificate of Biden's 2020 election victory, or certification of Biden's 2020 election victory. So there you go. Trump told Time that he doesn't consider illegal immigrants civilians because these are people that aren't legally in our country. This is an invasion of our country, the former president said, an invasion like probably no country has ever seen. The Post sought comment from Maddow, Biden, and Trump. Yes, because there you go. So everyone's afraid they're going to go to jail. They're going to go to jail because what? Trump's in office. People want to project fear. This is the problem with politics here in America. We're ruled over by unserious people. The news is presented to us by people who are propagandists. I mean, corporate media is not there to empower you. It's there to do confirmation bias, which is why I tell my audience all the time, listen to other opinions, other content creators, other independent journalists, other perspectives and points of view. You don't have to agree with them, but it's important for you to be worldly, open-minded, and to think critically. The problem with our politicians and our media is that they know how to manipulate people's fears. And for a long time, Americans have been susceptible to propaganda, to being tricked. I mean, when you hear people like AOC and Rachel Maddow say, oh, I might go to jail, their most diehard supporters are going to say, oh, no, we have to protect them because if they can go to jail, I can go to jail. You're not that important. No. Now, Donald Trump, I really don't know what to expect from his presidency at this point. I really don't care because no matter who sits on the throne, Goldman Sachs is going to have the final say. How does that sound? Because our politicians will work for their donors. And the donors are going to decide how we rule our country, right? Or is it how they're going to rule our country and have our, weak-willed politicians write the laws for them? I'm not afraid of this. But what this is causing is people to then react irrationally to this entire political environment. Because then you have people in positions of power, people in positions of influence, trying to stoke fears by saying, oh, no, I'm going to jail. Are you going to jail? Why are you afraid to go to jail? Did you commit a crime? Did you do something? Or either that, are you afraid of retribution? Or either that being held accountable for your own hypocrisy? I could care less what happens further on down the road with the Trump presidency because no matter what, I can't control who's going to become president of the United States. Once I cast my vote and once all of you cast your votes, well then, hey, we'll find out what happens on election night. We'll see how many people turn out to vote. But Democrats, vote blue no matter who, corporate media. When you work on your stories, or is it that when you decide to speak before people, you ever bother to think about the words you're going to say because you look ridiculous? You look ridiculous projecting your fears and then causing other people to think the same. What, we need to be afraid of Trump because he said some things that make you feel uncomfortable? Look, I don't want to see a Trump presidency, but corporate media and Democrats, you opened the door for Trump to become very relevant in American politics. And I don't feel sorry for you one bit. You created that Frankenstein, and you're going to have to live with it.